right, so we are here with halfway to Halloween. Halfway to Halloween. You guys have seen videos. You've watched all the footage, and now we're going to give you a more in-depth look at who's who and all the stuff that goes on and all the people and the roles they play. So we're going to get into that. So get ready. This is going to be fun. All right, so as said and promised, we're going to get a chance to meet everyone from Halfway to Halloween. I'm gonna have everybody introduced because we got a crew here. So we're gonna have everybody introduce themselves, starting all the way at the end over there. Just let us know who you are, what you do, and
all right. I'm Casey. I'm the janitor. I'm just kidding. I'm the coffee guy and I guess builder. I guess we could say.
Yeah, you build stuff.
I build things. I build the things.
That's good. The person who controls the caffeine should be, building. That's all right.
And you move the maze.
Yep.
And he's every vendor's best friend.
Yep.
Yes.
Coffee.
Yes. I bring the coffee.
That's important.
Deadly Grounds coffee, I thought.
Yes. That's true.
Plug for Deadly Grounds coffee, guys. There it is right there. Shameless plug.
Me? Yeah.
You.
Hi, I'm Nikki. Is this where this is? Hi, Nikki.
Yeah. Hey, hi, Nikki.
Hi,
How long
Nikki.
have you been with us?
I've had this problem for years. I'm working on it. I'm Nikki. I do things. I do a lot of things. I do things.
All of the things.
Mickey does a lot of the back of the house stuff. She does.
COO.
She does a lot of the billing, tax stuff, budgeting, stuff like that.
The boring stuff that these guys don't want to do.
That's true.
So, Nikki, do you have a stamp that says approved and denied?
I should get one. When I get a phone call and April goes, so hear me out.
Why does everyone hate my swamp?
It may cost us money, but I promise it'll be cool.
Worth it!
It'll be totally worth it.
Denied.
And then I usually do a big eye roll, and I go, okay, let's hear it.
Nice.
And it's either well, or yeah, that sounds good. We can make that happen.
All right, so important question. If something doesn't come out ideally the way you want it, do you become the scapegoat?
Me?
Yeah, there you
I
go.
don't
Well,
know.
Nikki declined.
Oh,
She declined.
no.
We were gonna have the tunnel of fire, but that was declined.
I was.
Oh, you know what? I have used that one. I did say I wanted to build a whole swamp. And Kirk and Kyle told me I could. I had permission. And then somebody
Said April, that's how many gallons of water?
shot me down.
Oh man. Ah.
Then don't forget other people even said, you sure you want to take that on?
And now it's the ever-running joke. Josh from Scream Machine, every time I say something about water, he's like, you can't have a swamp.
What did he tell us? It couldn't be bigger than this.
He told me it couldn't be bigger than a kiddie pool.
There it is. Wow.
It
Wow.
couldn't be bigger than a kiddie pool.
Guys, I don't know if you understand how horrible it is to have your dreams shot down in flames right over the ocean.
Crushed.
Mayday.
Is that my title? Dream Crusher. Soul Eater.
Crusher.
Sprinkling the ashes of my dreams around.
Yep.
That's okay. You're the sustainer of life too. So.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
All right, your turn.
Take
My
that.
turn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm April. No. I'm April. You probably have all seen my face. You see Joel more than me. I'm just the one in the background who says no to everything and then tries to spend all of our money.
Nice. I love it.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
No, I do a lot of the creative stuff, a lot of our advertisement,
Well,
website,
Oh yeah, go check out the website.
Yes,
For
go
any
check out the
limit.
website.
Yeah,
Halfway to HalloweenMI.com.
There you go.
I
I'll
worked
drop that in
very
there.
hard on that.
Smells like a new website.
It does.
That's
Scratch and sniff your screen.
Fourth dimension, guys.
So I do a lot of that. And then Joel and I work together a lot on dealing with vendors,
Advertisement and vendors.
advertisement, finding new vendors.
Social media posts.
Yes. We go to a lot of shows. Joel and I do recently. These two have started joining us a little bit more.
Taste
But yeah,
tester.
that's
Don't like crowds, so
I just come up with fantastical ideas.
yeah.
Yep, and Cindy and Byron, see, she does exist.
You exist.
There it is. There it
You
is.
exist.
Your turn, Joel.
There it is.
Yep, I'm Joel. Like as mentioned, do a lot of the social media posts, a lot of that lovely stuff.
He's the pumpkin guy.
He's
Yeah,
the
pumpkin guy and
Or the leather face guy.
Yeah.
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 Depending on what he's got on.
thing now. Everyone seems to recognize me in the
In your
the
vest.
Deal with a lot of the vendors and
Rest in
work
peace,
with
the
April
beautiful
and
pumpkin
getting
suit.
stuff going, come up with ideas, and making plans for following years.
Yeah. And cumulatively, we are the owners of Halfway to Halloween.
Woohoo.
There you have it, guys. You now have gotten to meet halfway to Halloween the people behind. So now we're going to delve into a little bit more of what is halfway to Halloween. So for some of our folks out there who may not be in Michigan, or they may be across the country, maybe they're in California, maybe they're in Arizona, maybe they're in New England. You know, for those folks here,
It's cheap to fly to Michigan in May.
there you go. There you go, guys. Check the flights, you know, and book Spirit Airlines at your own risk, you know. Although that's the one airline that hasn't been falling out of the sky. You may want to, you know, rethink that.
And there is local hotels nearby too.
Yes, there is. There is. So give us a quick overview of Halfway to Halloween and what it is. And we'll go further than that, but just give us a quick snapshot, if you could, you know, a bird's eye view.
So I would say if I had to give a quick snapshot in a couple sentences, we like to call it an experience. We don't really call it a convention. It's got the name Expo. That was the best that we could find that fit. It is a vendor show, but it's so much more than that. We're a vendor show. We're a Hearst show. We're a cumulative haunt. We have performers. We have
Food truck rally.
Costume contest.
costume contest. We do so many things. So really, we just like to call it an experience. We are a Halloween horror, metaphysical, anything kind of on that dark side pertains to us, and we probably have it there.
There you go. There you go. And I will add in, it's not just food trucks. I've been to shows and they have food trucks. And then there's shows that have good food trucks. These are good food trucks. If you like good food, they actually have good food, which is
We eat from every one of the food trucks before we ever approach them about coming to the show. These two have eaten multiple things from, I guarantee you, every food truck there.
So every
Royal
food
Cup
truck
bears.
that we have there, I have personally taste tested, and me and Joel as well. That is one of my jobs, is to test all of the food, and I do that just for you guys. I suffer through every bit of it.
It's such a painful job, and
Somebody's got to do
You
it.
guys, though, it's worth it for you guys.
taking one for the team, guys. Taking one for the team. So make sure you appreciate their hard work out here. So give us a little bit of history, especially for, like I said, for those who don't know. And it's kind of crazy because I think about it last year, a lot of times people were coming for the first time going, I didn't even know.
Yeah.
But give us, how long have you been doing this? And tell us about how it started.
Ooh, I got this.
Oh, all right.
All right.
Tag, you're it.
All right, so little backstory. These two are married. These two are married.
Remember those
Okay.
positions,
These
guys.
two are not married.
So a lot of people think they are because they're all together a lot, going out and saying hi. Anyway, Joel was a vendor himself, reselling old toys and things like that. And he always wanted to do his own shows. So he and I decided that we were going to start an event company. It was called Spencer Events. It has died. Rest in peace, Spencer Events. So we would have mom-to-mom sales and indoor garage sales and things like that. And our first year of Halfway to Halloween was in 2021, right? 2020. Yeah, we were the brave souls that stuck it
Still
out.
had an event.
Yeah. So it was at A Night to Columbus in Livonia. We had about 40 vendors. It was so much fun that we decided to put all of our eggs in that basket. So we had a mom-to-mom sale. It went really well. It did great. But Joel loves Halloween. I'm like, I like Halloween.
I mean, have you seen the show?
I like the cute Halloween where you can boop the ghost's nose.
They squeak.
Yeah, I like that side of Halloween.
You can boop a zombie too. You know, some zombies are boopable.
Yeah.
They kind of squeak with a screech.
Just take their bottom jaw off.
Yeah, it's just like, boop. Well, if they have a nose. Anyway, we get off track a lot around here. So we decided to put all our eggs in the basket. April wanted to join the ride because she's got great ideas and is super organized and can really keep us on track sometimes. And then Casey said, "This looks like fun," and said, "I got
No, he
coffee."
didn't.
People, it sells itself. People need coffee.
Oh yeah. Coffee ties the whole thing.
No, actually,
Coffee wanted to live
Casey's
his barista life.
the start of everybody's involvement. Of course, there was Joel, and he was like, "I want to do all the things," and Nikki was like, "Wrangle it in. Let's do some of the things." So then they started doing some of the things, and then Joel's like, "Hey, will you help us with some of the things?" And I was like, "Sure, I'll help with some of the things." And then he was like, "I want to do this one thing, but bigger." And I was like, "Well, okay." So we went from our first year with 40 vendors
At a VFW home with Livonia.
Yep.
to our second year at Washtenaw, and we had 140 vendors.
Okay. Wow.
This year we will have almost 200. We don't want to go over that. We struggle with this every year. I'll get into that when we talk about vendors. But
Okay.
so yeah, so then we just kind of have been growing every year. It's our 5th year. So like Joel said, we started in 2020.
Yeah, I think
Number
that-
5,
I think that
baby.
2020, I think we originally had to cancel.
We did. So our first show was in 2021, like Nikki said.
Yeah.
But Casey's involvement, so because he's married to me, he just kind of got roped in it. And I was like, "So what do you want to do for the event?" And he was like, "I can make some coffee."
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I have a love for coffee. That's
He is a coffee guy.
And now they have vendors whose riders are basically must have coffee.
Yes.
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 And I do stay busy all day long when I'm there. Like, so it definitely needed, and a must have.
Yeah, it's kind of comical. So Deadly Grounds is one of our sponsors. They have amazing coffee. We
Oh,
always
so good.
buy a boatload from them
And
every
I'm
year.
a tea girl. And I love their coffee.
It's
man.
good coffee. And what makes it even better is because Casey uses filtered water. It doesn't have any additives. It doesn't have any, but he also uses old percolator style giant carafes to make the coffee. Urns.
Percolator urns.
So it is
It's all about the urn.
Yes.
That's the Wild
Apparently-
Wild West type stuff right
Yes.
there. You know what I mean? I'm talking over the fire. you know?
Yep. So it
you
is
know?
all percolator coffee.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So just a fun fact I want to throw out there. It's kind of funny, just to add to history. It's kind of weird. So during the time you guys did your first show,
Mhm.
it was kind of funny because halfway to Halloween wasn't really a thing.
No.
And there was only one other place doing it, and it was
Yes.
the Heritage Square in California.
Yes, because we looked it up and that was the only other
They're
one
the
we
only
could
one.
find when we
They're-
picked our
They're
name.
the only ones. And it was funny because, you know, Jamie had just talked me into starting a YouTube channel, and I think we had like 10 followers. So, you know, and now we have 20. So, so a lot has changed, as you can see. But
double.
yeah, you know what I mean?
Woo!
Hey, 5-year plan, man.
100% increase.
So it was kind of funny because we go in there and we didn't know. We just saw it in the paper, and we're like, I guess we should go check out the show. You know, if
Wait,
we're going to
you
do
guys
content.
came to our first show?
Not the first one. We
No,
came
not
to
the
we
first-
came to the
our
first one at Washtenaw.
I was
First one at
about to say,
Washtenaw.
what?
No, we didn't make it to that one. So we get there, and it was funny because, like I said, halfway to Halloween wasn't really a thing. And I remember watching this thing in Heritage Square, and it was at the time I was going through some serious homesickness. I'm like, why does this have to happen after I leave California? And then freaking they have all this cool stuff, and I want to go to Heritage Square. And then I'm like, wait, there's a halfway to Halloween out here. So I was like, cool. So me and Jamie go, and we get there, and we were like, whoa, this is crazy. This is cool. It's in our backyard. And we ended up meeting you guys.
Yeah.
And it was funny because that ended up being one of the biggest videos we ever did at the time. It was like, holy crap. And it's because Halfway to Halloween was just trending. And now it is everywhere. Everybody and their mother.
Everybody does it halfway to Halloween.
Retail does halfway to Halloween. Haunts are doing halfway to Halloween. Other, so it's just been wild to see how that's turned into this big trend now.
Yeah.
So, and now they're talking about Summerween. That's a whole thing now.
Oh yeah, Summerween's a whole different thing.
yeah. I'm like, Jack of Watermelons?
Oh,
Okay,
God.
all right. So, but yeah.
Although that would be kind of a fun idea. Instead of doing pumpkin carving, somebody should do watermelon carving.
They're doing it. That's part of Summerween. They're doing it. They literally do the whole,
show. It was on a show.
Yeah.
That's great.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It was a kids show.
That's great.
Yeah, it's out of control, guys. I don't want to digress. I'll go down a rabbit hole, so I'm going to try not to do that. Discipline, focus, Dave.
You can do it.
Yeah, right.
Well, just a quick rebut to your story. So you told your story. You came up and interviewed us, right?
Yep.
So you found me, right?
Yeah.
And
Somebody said, "Have you met Joel and April yet?"
Right.
I'm like, "No."
you're like, I don't know who these people are. I don't know how it transpired, but somehow or other, I think it was because I called you, right?
You called me and said, "Hey, get up
So
here."
you came up and you're like, oh, hey, I'm, David, I'm from Haunted the Roxbury. And I was like, oh, okay.
Hey.
Let me call Joel. So I called Joel and I was like, hey, you want to get up here? There's some people who want to like interview us.
And I told everyone, like, "Do you want to interview us?"
And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, why? And I'm like, I don't know.
Meanwhile, Jamie's like, "Are you sure they'll want to interview you? They don't even know who you are. You've got 10 followers."
We don't know who we are. You guys walked away and Joel looks at me and he goes, we had our first YouTube interview. And I was like,
Yeah.
nobody knows who we are.
Go back and watch it. It's there. You can
It's
see it all.
It's terribly awkward.
It's great.
I'm still really awkward on camera, but it was way worse then.
Don't worry. I beat you on the awkwardness in interviewing Matt. That was probably, I watch that now and I go, oh my God, turn it off. I can't. And Matt must have been like, what is wrong with this guy? Is he on the spectrum? Where's this guy come from?
Mine's broken.
Yeah, you could just see his face at points trying to figure out, like, what are you trying to ask me?
say?
Yeah. Yeah, if you want some comedy, that's a fun interview. So we're all over the place. But with that being said, so 2020 is when it started. 2021 first show,
Yep.
and then from there we went to Washington, and it's been gangbusters ever since.
Yep.
Give me a breakdown of what are some of your affiliations and or connections to the haunted attractions industry, like history. Have you worked at haunts? Have you done anything? Give us a little background on that, just to kind of let people know some of the things that you guys have dipped your toes into.
Used to
I guess.
do,
Well, hold on. Yours is the longest. His is the longest.
So the shortest with the whole haunt industry
It's us.
is these guys, and I've only ever worked at one haunt, I guess we could say, and it was Haunt at the Roxbury with David.
Yeah.
So I'm not a Halloween person, but you know what?
His wife couldn't convince him to get in a
Yes.
costume, but that man did.
I'm beyond honored. I'm beyond honored because this man made people wet their pants. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say. So I'm very grateful.
And then Nikki and I
Nick, yeah.
worked at a haunted house.
Yep, when we were teenagers.
Wait, Nikki. Okay, so we got it. Okay, let's unbox this.
He says,
gotta
back
unbox
the
this.
bus up.
Yeah, we gotta unbox
Put
this.
it in reverse.
I need to know who your character was and who were you, Nikki, in
I
this
didn't
haunt.
have a character. I had a
That's not true. She had a character. She was
Okay.
a car.
Oh, what? Spooky
She was a
car?
car.
Okay, all right.
I had control of a front bumper with headlights and a grocery
Horn.
basket.
Oh, I love it.
So every time somebody walked by, I like pushed it really fast and pressed the button to make it.
And the lights would flash and the horn would come on. And she was right at the exit. Like literally, she's here. You're walking down this dark hallway, and then she just comes at you, and it's like "Rah!" right in your face.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So, Mile
and then
Nikki.
people would run out the door.
I was gonna say that's traumatizing, man. That's
Yeah.
right there.
I like that new nickname. Okay, so here's
Somebody get the MMN. Where's the MMN?
Here's the skinny on me, guys. I don't do haunts.
That's not true.
Okay, so here's the thing. I worked there.
Yes.
When we were 16. God, we were babies.
No, we were older than 16.
18?
Yeah, probably 17, 18.
We weren't out of high school yet. Anyway, we've been friends for a long time. I don't go in haunts. There is only one haunt that I've ever been. They have, I suggested that they put a plaque that this is a momentous thing and a historic marker for it, but Scream Machine is the only haunt I have ever walked through when there's people in it.
She had to have escorts.
Wait, you did do deranged.
She did.
You did deranged.
Yeah, but that was Christmas.
That's true.
So they didn't
That's
have,
true.
like,
That's true.
they
So
didn't
was
have
people.
was the
scary stuff.
official?
She walked through Scream Machine like officially on like a night when they were open with
what?
like actors.
Oh, that's legit. That's
And
legit.
Scream Machine is the only one I'll ever walk through.
Wow.
Don't let her lie to you. It's because we also work at Scream Machine.
Yes.
So they all know her. So they went very easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They love me.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
So that's you good?
Yep.
So my involvement, started working at a haunt when I was a teenager. I've always been kind of gothy, kind of into dark stuff.
Kind of gothy. Kind of gothy. Kids at home. She slept in a coffin in high school. A little
awesome.
gothy.
That's
Does
awesome.
not even cover it. But anyway, continue. I'm sorry.
Anyway, so I've always had an interest in the darker side of humanity. So I worked at a haunt, and then Nikki and I have been friends forever. So then when Joel came into the picture, and then he was like, "Hey, I want to do this thing," and I was like, "Hey, I like scary shit."
You like scary stuff? I like scary stuff. Did we just become best friends?
Yup.
Right. And then Joel worked with several different haunts.
Let Joel go down that.
Yeah. But so after, of course, we created Halfway to Halloween and started becoming more affiliated with more and more local haunts. We also moonlight at some of the haunts. Like when they need help, they'll send us a message like, "Hey, we need some extra scare people." Joel's really good at that. Nikki's really good at the front door. I don't really know what I'm good at. Directing people, I guess. I used to be a really good scare actor. Anyway.
You scare people here.
But so we've done some work at Deranged, done some work at Scream Machine, etc. And we kind of like doing that. It's really fun. We really like to meet the other actors, see the different like managing styles of the different haunts, the different setup styles. Even though every room is different, they still have an aesthetic that you feel throughout the haunt. So I feel like it is a really cool experience, and we participated in Haunt Swap last year.
Yep.
That was
awesome.
that was a cool experience.
I
That
heard
was
it was awesome.
Where were some places that took you?
Rotten Manor.
Yeah,
Okay.
we went to Rotten Manor. We went.
Hush.
Yep. We ended up going to Niles.
Niles.
Not for Haunt Swap because they were doing it on like a Tuesday or
Yeah,
something, and it was just too far for us to drive on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
So we went to Niles on a weekend. We went to Nightmare Realm. We went to we went to Hush. We went to we went all kinds of places this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just outside of Haunt Swap, we did quite a few.
Yeah,
That's
we did a
awesome.
lot this year.
That's awesome. Very
And then
cool.
Joel's got a
what's
ton
your
of
event?
haunt
Let's get the
experience.
resume.
Yep.
Journeyman Hunter here. Just so
Yes.
you know.
Started off doing home haunts. Then when I met Nikki, apparently did a setup there. Kids wouldn't come back because it was too scary.
So I'm like,
So I was told I should start working at haunted houses. So I started off working to Hush the first year. Then after that,
Joel would hide in the bushes and scare small children.
he chased them down the street, and then we couldn't get trick-or-treaters anymore.
No, so then Nikki decided to sit on the porch with a bucket of candy and say,
I said I was sorry about that, and don't say it on here. That was really dumb. That was so dumb.
she's yelling at random children that we have free candy.
I mean, as long as you're not in a van, that tracks.
Yeah,
No, but she had Joel in the front yard.
So it was a setup.
so awful. Anyway, so Joel
Free candy, little kids.
in its original building was right around the corner where we were living in.
Oh, that's right. That was on Ford Road, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
and Westland.
So
Yep.
I'm like, Joel, there's a haunted house literally around the corner. why don't you go see if they need volunteers? And Joel, being his sweet, shy self, no, I don't want to do that. So I literally drove him up there, pushed him out the car, and drove away. And so go make friends. Go make friends. And then the rest is history. And so Hush, and then
But worked at several different haunts. Like a couple of them I worked at over the years is Scream Machine. Been working with those guys for a number of years. Even though some years it might be just kind of helping out build stuff. Other ones, acting.
You've also, you've worked at Hush. You've worked at Erebus.
Dark Legacy.
it's not
What was the
around
one of the
anymore.
trail?
That was Ghostly
Ghostly
Grove.
Grove.
Ghostly Grove.
Okay. Yep. All right.
Helped out Mike
Deranged.
Deranged for a couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Met a couple of haunt owners over the years by going through their haunts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Joel's been around.
Yeah, then what was it several years back, Josh from Scream Machine approached us saying, "Hey, can I build something?"
You're a haunt whore.
He is a haunt whore. He's a haunt whore. Mhm.
Totally printing you a T-shirt that says "haunt whore," and then on the back it's
Oh,
gonna
no.
say "I just can't commit."
No, I'm definitely going in the bathroom at the gas station for a good haunt. Call this number.
Oh, on the back it said.
Oh no, you got to have the perforated tab where you can tear it off.
or you can tear off the phone number.
Yeah, for a good haunt, call this number.
Guest acting now.
So as you guys can see, not only are these guys showrunners, but they've got some roots that are basically very much tied to what's happening at Halfway to Halloween. Let's see here, 2024. Let's talk about it. Big pink elephant in the room. Banner year. I mean, this has been cool because we've been watching this show just grow.
Yeah, because you
And,
guys have been with us since our first year at Washtenaw, so you've kind of seen the increase in vendors, the increase in interest, the increase in attendance.
Yeah. And it's just been cool to see every year, and last year, I remember just looking out and going, there are people parked on the lawn.
Oh my gosh!
And it looked like Woodstock.
Joel, so just to give a tip, I have a couple chronic illnesses, lupus being one of them. So sometimes I'm not always present. And when I say present, I mean you can't see me. It doesn't mean I'm not there. So half of the event last year, I actually spent in the bathroom puking because I had pancreatitis due to
That's
my lupus.
insane. Yeah.
But anyway, I was there, but I distinctly remember at some point in time, Joel coming up to me and dragging me out. And he's like, you have to see this. You have to see this. And I was like,
You're like, I'm not done wrenching.
right. I was like,
Hurry up, Joel.
I was like, I don't, you got 30 seconds, man. You got to walk faster than that. And all he did was open the door and he pointed out and he goes, there's cars down there. And I was like, holy shit, there is.
Yep. And let me give you some background. These guys already have a very sufficient parking lot. More than sufficient. That's more than adequate. So
We have in total 20 acres of parking.
there you go. So when that's getting used up and there's more acres being used, is
We
Pretty
get
wild.
really excited.
pretty
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
Pretty
Set
wild.
up the event, and Brad with Wicked Wicks / Terror Works Entertainment. Hopefully I pronounced that right, Brad. And Amber. You send me pictures throughout the event, look at this, and it's just a crowd, or I should say a sea of people.
I will say that's probably the biggest complaint that we got from vendors last year, was that they didn't get a break.
Gotcha. Good problem.
And
to
they
have.
weren't complaining about
Yeah, I
it.
was
They
gonna
were
say,
complaining, but not
Yeah. Good
they were
problem.
I was like, did you have any issues? And they were like, my only issue was I didn't get a break, but I'm not complaining.
There you go. It's like, welcome to the big leagues. This is the way it's going down.
And it's so humbling.
Yeah.
It really is.
Because this is our baby. This
Yep.
Yeah.
We work all year for this. All of us, all four of us have regular day jobs.
Yeah.
So this is a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and we just want people to have a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is
Vendors,
working.
we want vendors
It
to
is
have a
working.
good time. We want the haunt people to have a good time. We want the hearse owners. We want everybody, the people who pay tickets to come see us. We want everybody to have a good time.
Yep.
We do also believe, one of our baselines is that we think that this is an amazing community, the
Mhm.
haunt/horror community. And we think that we get a bad rap because, people look at us and, we're weirdos, or why do you have a skeleton in your yard in June? I don't
Why
know,
do
because
you
I like
drive a-
skeletons.
Why do you
Right.
drive a herd?
My
Right.
skeleton's going to bite your bunny's head off.
Right.
Shut up.
Right.
But no, so I think we get a pretty bad rap, just as collectively as a whole, as a group. So I think it's good that it helps build community.
Yes.
And with the haunts this year, especially because we're building good community between the haunts, which is huge. I think that's a big
Yeah.
deal.
Big,
Yeah.
big deal.
So
Big deal.
Definitely gonna be
So-
going over here shortly.
Let's I was gonna say, let's put some teeth to that. So, with those haunts being involved, what is their involvement in this year's upcoming show without giving up too much? And what are the collaborative efforts that are happening to give them a better view of what we're doing?
So anybody who attended the event last year may have missed it because it wasn't nearly as busy as we had hoped that it would be, but we think that was honestly our fault with the placement.
Okay.
So the haunt, we just call it the haunt because I'm super creative. No, I just really haven't given it any thought yet. If anybody's got some cool names for a collaborative haunted house, shoot them at us. But yeah, so the haunt was in Building A, and Joel and I had been having this conversation for a couple of years that we wanted to do a pop-up haunted house. And when we started talking about it, I was like, Joel, this is...
Yeah, we can't ask anybody to build
this is
something.
way too much to ask a haunted house to do. Like, I was like, this is way too much to ask anybody to do. I was like, we don't have the time. We have regular jobs. Like, I can't take 2 weeks off work before the event to build a haunt.
Right.
You know, also we have to pay for every day that we use the grounds. So there's a lot of money.
And building material.
And building materials, which everybody knows are astronomical right now. That is actually when we started doing some research, and we bought the maze, and that's when we bought the inflatable maze. And you remember you were there when we were so excited, and we got it, and we blew it up in deranged, very, very soupy parking lot at the time.
He had the most room.
He had the most room. Yeah. But everybody had a blast. We blew it up, and everybody turned into little kids, and they were running around and playing, and that was a ton of fun.
And then somebody brought out a fog machine, and it was.
And then it was on.
Then it became a blast.
Because nobody
We
could
knew-
see anything.
At that moment, we realized that we did something right.
So then we had the maze, and so we did a little mini walkthrough the first time in G with the maze, but nobody really we put up some signage, but I don't think we put up enough signage.
Deranged was involved.
Yeah. I said deranged.
Yeah.
So they were down there. They had actors in the maze, scaring people. It brought some light props and things like that. But it just didn't really get a lot of attention. So then we were like, all right, well, let's move it.
Oh, and I think that year, though, too, Scream Machine built like a little escape room type
Oh,
of
yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
They
right.
built a
That's
little
right.
escape room, and
That's
it was
right.
under B.
Yep.
So then the next year we were like, all right, well, let's move it. So we moved it to Building A, the complete opposite side. For those of you who haven't been there before, we do take up 7 buildings.
Yeah.
And Building A is all the way to the left, and Building G is all the way to the right, and the subsequents are in between.
If you think you're done, just keep going.
Just keep going.
Yep.
If there's more inside room, there's more stuff.
Yeah.
So then we moved it into A, and after that year, Josh had gotten hold of us, and he was like, "What can I build a room onto the maze, and we can make a haunted house?" And I was like, "I didn't really think that you wanted to build anything, but sure."
That's
Yes.
awesome.
So then we start talking about it, and we get with Josh, and Joel and I were there all week with Josh and Laura and Matt. And we spent essentially a week building a haunt. So we built the whole back half of A into a haunt. And then we had a couple of other haunts that were had booths. So Erebus had a booth. Nightmare Realm had a booth. Hold on, I'm getting there. So Nightmare Realm had a booth. And then they called Joel.
And like 2, maybe 3 days before the event.
No, it was about 2 weeks
About
before
2
the
weeks.
event. Yeah. And this is how this always goes. So they call Joel and they say, "Hey, Joel, we want to do this thing. We want to build a photo op." And Joel says, "Yeah, okay, that shouldn't be a problem." So then I say, "Well, how much room do they need?" And he says, "Well, I don't know. Let me ask." And then he looks at me and he says, 25 feet by 25 feet. I said, "That's one hell of a photo op."
Yeah, right. And it was.
And it was.
And it was. And it was kind of comical to me because they pulled up. So we've been building all week, right? We get the whole back of the haunt, the whole back of A built out, and Josh is pretty stoked about it. Laura's just annoyed
Laura.
with all of us because, you know, I mean, it's Mother's Day week and she's building a haunt. So then Nightmare Realm showed up and Josh got it was really fun for him to show like Erebus and Nightmare Realm, the haunted walkthrough that he had essentially built.
Yeah.
And Deranged manned the maze inside the haunt.
Yep.
So it was Scream Machine and Deranged. And then Nightmare Realm shows up and starts building this thing. And Dan from Erebus goes, well, nobody told me we could build things.
Right.
And Joel just looked at him and he goes, we didn't ask. And he goes, well, I didn't know that we could. And
I
Joel
didn't
goes,
know it was an option.
he goes, I didn't know it was an option. And Joel goes, well, we don't really have any rules. And he goes, well, nobody told me that.
There's a secret sauce. If you have a show and you want hunters to get involved, there you go. There's a secret sauce this is how you get them to build stuff. Because you don't want to guilt them out, but you just have somebody else bring some stuff.
If you let them build, they will
They will
come.
come.
They will come.
What's
They will
funny,
come.
though, is before they started building, me and April were like, what kind of photo op is this? Like,
And then when they built it out, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I was like, wow, guys, way to show up.
yeah,
Alright.
yep.
So then that
They said,
started the
surprise, we're
conversation.
here.
So then that started the conversation. So then Dan and Josh and Nightmare Realm got together and they started chatting among themselves. And then Josh approached Joel and I and said, we want to do a haunt.
There it is.
you have the man from Erebus, like,
A collaborative.
we want to be involved next
Yeah.
year.
And Nightmare Realm was like, we're in.
Yep.
And Deranged was like, us too.
So if that doesn't excite you, how many haunts do we have collaborating on the
We
Walden Haunt?
have
Seven.
7.
7 haunts. I mean, take that in for a minute, guys. You see a lot of that's becoming a thing with a lot of the shows now. You have, like, for instance, you go to Midsummer Scream, you got the Hall of Shadows.
Yeah.
You've got
Midwest had
Mid-
Hunter's Alley, I believe it was
Midwest
called.
has Chicago Hunt Builders
Yeah.
putting on.
Yes.
This has 7 different pro hunts working together to put a walkthrough. And if you haven't, go back and look at the video. The walkthrough was awesome last year. It was already awesome.
And it's going to
Oh,
be way better
Wait
this
till
year.
you see it this
Yeah.
year.
So
Oh, and that's just the haunted walkthrough portion for the haunts.
yes,
Yep.
that's
It's
So-
about to go down.
yep.
So I just want to say before we move any further, I do want to mention the haunts that are coming in and so graciously building for us, because I also want to say we are not paying them.
Yeah.
So they are coming in. Give these guys a shout out. Go visit them during haunt season. A lot of them do a halfway to Halloween event like the week after ours.
Their haunts
Um,
Yes.
Deranged
Their
is the
haunts
same
are
weekend.
open. Deranged is the same weekend. Most of the other ones are the following weekend. But go out, show them some love. They do work really hard. They love what they do, which is why they work with us, because we're also broken, just like what we do. But no, they're all really great guys and ladies. They're all really great people. And they, thems, whomever, they're all really great people. We enjoy, really honestly, all of them. We enjoy working at the hunts. We enjoy working with them. We have said multiple times that the thing that we love most about this business is the friendships that we've
People.
made, the people we've
Hey,
met.
we
Yeah.
met you through it.
That's
Yeah.
it. That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
So
Oh my gosh.
to run down the list, we have Scream Machine, and
Who,
that
by the way, is the big.
they're the big ones. They lead it up for us. Josh actually puts everything in CAD and designs the haunt, and
He puts
gives
a
the
lot of-
building specs to all the other haunts, etc.
And thank you, Josh, for that.
Yes.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you.
For taking that
Love
on.
you,
You're
buddy.
the best, Josh.
Thanks.
And Laura.
Thanks, Laura,
And
for
Matt.
letting us
Thanks,
borrow
Laura.
your husband, and thanks, Matt, for just having to help. So Scream Machine, and they're located downriver, I believe to be exact, Taylor.
Taylor.
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Right off the North Line.
Yep.
Yep.
And then Erebus is in Pontiac.
Pontiac.
Yep.
Shout out to Dan.
St. Charles Haunt in St. Charles, Michigan.
Yep.
Deranged is in Romulus. Nightmare Realm is in Kazoo.
Yep.
Haunting in the Hills,
The Irish Hills.
Irish
Irish
Hills.
Hills.
Yep.
Yep.
And then Nightmares from Hell is from
I'm trying to remember that one. I want to say.
Uh-oh.
Trying to remember it's out there. I want to say.
Worst case
Michigan.
scenario, I'll drop it in the frame
Yeah.
for you to see.
I want to
Yeah.
say
Sure.
Michigan,
Yeah.
China. It's like right around that there's actually a city called Shannon, Michigan.
Oh, yeah. Michigan has every city.
They're the newest one that has
Yeah.
joined, so please
Yeah.
forgive us, Nightmares from Hell. I haven't yet to do my research, and we haven't seen them yet, so we'll be out to visit you too.
Ooh, yeah,
we'll
we tell
plug it.
Foxy.
We'll
We're,
plug
com-
it in.
we're coming.
We
We're coming
also
for you.
we also do have a couple haunts that have booths, but we're unable to participate in the haunt this year. We actually filled up and ran out of space, so we may have to make some adjustments for next year. So Awaken, Slaughterhouse Bay City, and Slaughterhouse Creek Manor all have booths, so make sure that you stop by and see them. I know a lot of the haunts will have sign-up sheets if you want to work there. Some haunts are volunteer based. Most of the haunts pay now. So, you'll have that ability too if you want to meet the people that you may be working at with a haunt to see if it fits your vibe. So that's a possibility too. But yeah, we have a lot of amazing haunts. I just cannot say enough how amazing they all are, how great it is that they're all working together. And
Yep.
it's so, I think probably the best thing for me about it is like when we all get together, like when we had our haunt meeting, right? So we had a meeting about building the haunt. So we're looking at the space, doing measurements, whole 9 yards, asking, answering questions, etc., going over the rules, etc. It was literally like once we got through the formalities, everybody turned into like 12-year-olds at Halloween.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh,
That's
It
great.
was so much fun.
There
That's
was an
awesome.
adult in the place.
No.
Yeah.
Yep. And I can't, just to drop a quick, dime on that. I think that in most industries, things can become competitive, and there's nothing wrong with competition per
No.
se, especially if you're competing to raise each other,
Yes.
But the problem is sometimes things get catty and cutthroat and stupid and petty, right?
Yep.
And so this is an awesome example of the fact that doesn't need to happen, because I've
Yes.
always said the haunt industry is versus everything outside of that: movies, nightclubs, sporting events. People have options to do that. So the haunt industry, the tide raises all ships. I keep saying that, and
Yeah.
I know sometimes it's hard for people to understand, but I'm going to say it ad nauseum. The tide rises all ships. So if, and there could be so much potential to untap if people work together.
Mhm.
You create an ecosystem, and I've seen it happen in certain places, and you're just like, oh my God, if we start doing this, because Michigan, I think, is probably one of the most, I've said it before, one of the most underrated states for things to do around spooky
Mhm.
season. There's
Mhm.
so many haunts.
There is so much
We're
to
only
do.
second to Ohio, you know what I
Yep.
mean? So, that's a lot, saying a lot, because Ohio's got like something crazy like 160 haunts, which is insane. So the fact that we're close to that,
Yep.
that says something. And I think,
And we are very close to the border.
yeah,
You know what I
Yep.
mean? Like
Yep.
even our event in Ann Arbor, you're only an hour north of the border of the state.
yep.
So
Toledo's right
45
around the
minutes.
corner. Yep.
Yep.
Cleveland's 2.5 hours.
Yep.
We find out we get a lot of haunts from Ohio actually check out the event as well.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All the way out from West Virginia.
Yep. And I will say that if you're within a 4-hour range, you should make it a point to try to get out here, because it is definitely worth the 4-hour drive to get here. It's worth the 2.5-hour drive if you're in Cincinnati, if you're in Chicago, if you're in Indiana. Make it. It's an awesome show. It's one day, but it's a lot in one
It's a
day.
heck of a
You'll
day.
have a mouthful in one day. I promise you that. So
One thing I am excited about with all the haunts kind of working together to build this is you'll be able to get a taste of each of the haunts.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Design aspect
Yeah.
and acting skills on top of that, because each one, they have different way of designing things, which is phenomenal. One of the things I love about going through different haunts is each room's going to be completely different from
Yes.
each other.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're
Yep.
letting them have free reign of what
Yeah.
they want to do.
And it's a good sampler.
So they're
if you've
gonna
never
bring their
gone to
A
haunts.
Yeah.
It's a great
These haunts
sampler.
are so talented.
Yeah.
No.
Right. So with all of the success of 2024 and that being a banner year, what would you say are some key takeaways that you learned, good and bad? Like okay, won't do that again, or yep, I'll definitely
we
do that
all
again.
the time.
Yeah, we do that. We do that every show. Like we do that. Like we'll draw up schematics for things, and we'll be like, So let's see. Probably
Walkie talkies.
walkie talkies. We did buy
Yeah.
walkie talkies this year because We had walkie-talkies last year. I don't know what we did with them. I don't even know where they ended up, honestly.
I knew I passed
I
them.
know how that goes.
It was really hectic. Like the day before the show, it was hectic.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we bought new walkie-talkies this year because those are super important.
Yep.
We put a map on the website this year.
Okay.
We are going to print out a map on a banner
Okay.
and
Like
put
a
it
site map.
yes
That's
between
awesome.
A and B.
That's awesome.
So people will know where things like the
Drop-off
bathrooms
signs.
are
Yep.
and things like that. Let's see. Probably the biggest thing that we learned is that we need a stationary ticket booth, which
Yeah.
we fixed this year.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yep.
Yep. So whenever anybody comes in to the event, one thing that you'll notice that's going to be different this year, we'll have little, enter that way signs. But when you pull in off of Ann Arbor Saline Road, there is one gate. It's the main gate that usually people pull in and go right in that gate. That gate will be locked and closed. You're going to make a right, go down the little dirt road around, and you're going to enter the gate at the lower parking lot, what they call the south lot. Because we're going to put our ticket booth there because we feel like that will be the easiest rather than restricting people with fencing and things like that.
Gotcha.
We don't want people to have to like check in and check out when they go back and forth to their cars. We don't, and we also don't want to hold people up. We want to give people free reign to walk around, look at hearses, talk to people, whatever they want to do.
Yep.
But yeah, so we're going to put the ticket booth down there by the gate. And we are working on provisions for like people with credit cards, which takes me into, by the way, tickets, FYI,
Tickets.
ticket plug. Tickets are $5 pre-sale, $10 at the door. So don't be dumb. Buy them ahead of time
Yep.
because
Yeah.
you will literally spend half of the money.
Yes.
$5
Oh, and
people.
kids 12 and under are free.
Yes,
Yep.
kids 12 and under are free.
Yep. Yep.
The haunted house is included with admission. The hearse show is included with admission. The food trucks are included with admission, but the food is not.
Yeah.
Free smells, free looks. You got to buy your own food.
Right. Scratch his
Sorry.
hip. Scratch his hip. Actually, you can't beat that. That's that value's understated.
Yep.
So enjoy it now, guys, because this is not
Just
gonna
the haunt, just the haunt alone,
Yeah.
honestly,
Oh,
for
yeah.
$5. Even if you didn't look at any of the nearly 200 vendors that we have, the haunt alone, being
Yep.
able to like essentially get a sampling of 7 haunted houses.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. Yep.
And also get to check out booths at 3 other ones that are not participating, get to see
Yeah.
what they're all about as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're
Yep.
May 10th, by the way, the day before Mother's Day. So if you have a gothic or spooky or undead mommy
Or a seasonal decorator.
or that,
Or if you have a movie.
yes,
A mummy.
bring her over because who wants a sampling of chocolates when you can have a haunt sampler?
There you
I
go.
mean, there's chocolate pumpkins.
There are chocolate pumpkins.
No,
We did
what's more important is that there are Necronomicon brownies, and they are
yeah.
they are
They-
amazing.
Hey, they're to die for.
Literally. Don't open that book unless you're going to eat it. So, and I did. I ate that book. It was very good. So, very cool. And there's cosplayers too, guys. Right?
Yes,
We got-
yeah.
Well,
We-
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No,
I
you're
got-
fine.
Actors.
I know.
Actors.
I got yelled at for using this. I got corrected at Transworld. Somebody said, "Excuse me, what did you call me?" Cosplayers? No, not cosplayers. Haunt actors.
There's
There's a difference.
Yeah.
There might be
There's a
some
difference.
cosplayers that come in.
There may be
through those-
cosplayers, yeah. And we welcome both. We welcome cosplayers. We welcome people with alternative personalities.
Furries.
Sorry.
Can't take us nowhere.
No, we welcome everybody. We welcome you dressed up, not dressed up. Like, come as you are, come as you want to be, come as whatever. We don't really care. Just please have some clothes on.
That's it.
Yeah, right.
Come clothed.
Key point. Key point. There are
Not
some
that
rules.
kind of show.
Cover the bits. That's the only
Not that
rules
kind
we
of
really
show,
have. Yeah. Yeah.
Makes me think of that Little Caesars commercial where the guy goes, "There's no rules," and he takes off his shirt, and the guy goes, "Put your shirt back on."
All right.
Okay, there's one rule.
We did say children under 12 are free, which speaking to that, we are open to children. We don't market ourselves as a kid friendly event. And the reason that we do that is because not all kids are haunt friendly. Not all kids are like that season friendly.
Right.
If you have a sensitive child
Please don't
that-
see them.
get scared by people in costume, get scared by people in masks, get scared looking at scary things.
Yep.
Bright
Please-
flickering lights.
Yes, bright flickering lights. Yeah. please don't bring them. And that's not because we don't want you to come. It's because I don't want to traumatize your child.
Yep.
I don't want them
We
to
don't
be
want you to not have a
uncomfortable.
good time.
Yep.
No.
Yep.
And I don't want to scare some child and maybe ruin what might be a future Halloween fan.
That's it.
You know?
Yeah.
That's it.
I don't want them to be traumatized and then think that that's what Halloween and that community is
Right.
just all people that scare you.
Yep. Yep.
You know,
Yep.
so just to plug any of the haunt actors that are walking around the vendor floor or any other public spaces, they do not scare you while they are walking around.
Yep.
They are only allowed to scare in the haunt.
Yep. Yep. They'll take a picture with you.
Yeah, they'll take a picture with you.
Yeah,
They'll chat
super
with
friendly.
you.
Yeah.
They're super friendly,
Yep.
super
They
accommodating.
had a dance party.
Yep, they had a dance party.
Impromptu dance party.
And they may steal your hat. I specifically
They
remember.
have been known to take things, socks,
Yeah, yeah,
hats.
yeah.
Oh, and the vendors, though, if you want a picture with any of the haunt actors, they're more than happy to do that. You're more than welcome to tag them in any photos saying, hey, we got a picture with Scream Machine and Erebus. Oh, Pickles Taxi Service is coming
Oh,
back this
yes.
year
Yes.
as well.
We
Which
got
one was this one now?
Pickles,
Okay,
so
Pickles Taxi Service.
We have,
Oh yeah.
we have a guy. He is Mr.
Mr.
Pickles, and he has a taxi service. His taxi service is golf carts. So if you have any like mobility issues, we will be posting some signs like around the parking lot and
they're called
such,
pickle stops.
and we'll have pickle stops.
That's awesome. And not to be confused with the Satanic Dog from Adult Swim. This
No,
is another
no.
Mr. Pickles.
Yes.
So, yeah.
This is a very friendly gentleman who will take you where you would like to go.
There you
And
go.
It's a free service.
It's free service.
Within the grounds.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Works on
He's not
tips.
an Uber guy.
Yep.
Yes,
He works on tips.
Yep.
Yep.
He works on tips.
Yeah.
So take care of the man.
Yep.
Yep.
People were a little confused about him last year. He does not work for the show. He does not get paid by the show or the grounds.
Nope.
He's an independent guy, and he
Yep.
only works on tips. He
He
just
provides
likes
the
people,
service.
and he likes giving people rides.
Yep.
Yep.
So when your dogs are tired from walking through 7 buildings and shopping and up and down,
Or you
you
got
just
too
got
much crap in your arms and you just want to run it to your car and drop it off, but you don't want to be
Exactly.
gone for 45
Mr.
minutes.
Pickles has got your back.
Yep,
There you
he
go.
will drive you out, wait for you, and bring you back.
there you go. Jumping into 2025, what are some of the events at this year's show that you're excited about? We've kind of talked about that, so this is kind of almost
I mean, obviously, definitely the haunted house.
okay.
Yes.
all
We
right.
are all super stoked about the haunted house.
Okay, so we've talked about that. What are
Yes.
some other events that we probably didn't give?
Monroe's Midnight Riders is going to be there.
Okay, so tell us about Monroe's Midnight Riders, Mirage.
Yes, Monroe's Midnight Riders.
Midnight
Monroe, the
Riders.
city of Monroe.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
It's a witch group of, I want to say, about 20 to 30
Witches.
A coven?
witches.
Okay.
It's a coven.
Yeah.
All right.
And they're coming out and performing a witch dance for us
Oh, that's awesome.
a couple
That's
times
awesome.
throughout the day.
That is awesome. Love it. Love it.
And then
We have Freeform Art Productions, and they are an adult acting group.
Okay.
And they are going to be doing throughout the day in Building G. They will be doing Edgar Allan Poe shorts.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
only 30 minutes long.
House of
Um,
Usher.
Right.
All right.
They're like these 30-minute long, just nice little short snippets. So if you want to like grab yourself a snack and a drink, go watch some Poe. You
That's
know,
awesome.
make your way back.
That's a nice way to kind of,
Yeah.
desensitize
Yeah.
too from
Yep.
all the.
It's quieter.
yeah.
It's farther away from everything. We put it on the opposite side of the Hearst show for that reason.
That's awesome.
So that it wouldn't have all the hustle and bustle of like where all of the vendors are, because we know that area gets super busy.
Yep. Yep.
The other exciting thing that we have this year, this one is probably super excited about. We have a reptile zoo.
whoa!
Oh, wait a minute. Bombshell.
That's
Yeah,
right. I forgot
bombshell.
about that.
This is the first public announcement of it.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Bombshell.
So, we got contacted by a gentleman who does reptile encounters.
Oh, wow.
So you get to, snuggle some snakes.
Okay.
And she's very excited about this. She
That
loves
is super
she
cool.
loves snakes, by the way.
Snake
All right.
snuggler.
Yeah,
All
she's
right.
a snake snuggler.
You get to bond with the bearded dragon.
The Hearst Show.
Yes.
There you go.
The Hearst Show. So we do have some judges that do a little competition for the hearses,
Mhm.
first, second, and third place. But what is new this year is a category called Visitor's Choice.
Yes.
Oh,
So you'll
nice,
be able to
nice.
vote for your favorite hearse
Very cool.
in the show. So we'll have a whole little booth in the Hearst Show. Just stop by.
Rob from Halloween Life will love that.
Oh, yeah.
you know, I got to throw one in just because I had like FOMO last year. We end up having to cut our visit short because, you know, we had a child there who was vending, and we had to rush him to the hospital because he had, you know, a medical issue. And I missed.
He's fine, by the way.
Yeah,
good.
yeah, he's good. He's good. He's good.
He's good.
He almost wasn't good because I wanted to go, all right, I'm going to make sure.
'Cause
we
you
make
were
this
gonna
trip
kill him.
worth it. Yeah, we're going to make this trip worth it. So, but I missed the costume contest. I
Yeah.
was so hurt. I was
Oh,
like,
right.
man.
And you know what? In
So-
all honesty, we were all like, I think, pleasantly surprised because, you know, a lot of places you go to costume contests and you'll see like 4 or 5 people walk up and you're
Yeah.
like, yeah, okay.
No, you guys had
You
some
know.
awesome
We
entries.
had like 30 people. I was
love the
like,
Shining
wow.
Twins. The husband and wife, that was-
Yes.
Yes.
I was like, dude.
Yes. Did you see the girl with the ripped off face?
I didn't. I missed that
Oh, you
one.
didn't see her.
And somebody was telling me there was a crazy Pennywise. It was
Oh,
like a
yes.
crazy Pennywise.
Yes.
I missed
Did you
that
see
too.
the kid? The kid Pennywise?
That one was creepy.
I don't know if I
That kid was so creepy. He was like, I was like, I love you. Like, I
I
looked at my husband and I was like, if we had children,
this.
right.
this would be it.
Right. It's like,
I was
kid,
like,
you got a job.
Future Haunter right there.
There it is.
Future
There it is.
Haunter. He was so excited with his little balloon.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So yeah, there's so much going on. I mean, there's vendors, but this is as you said, it's an experience. There's so many things that you're going to get a chance to interact with that it really is a complete solution. We're all waiting for the day that this turns into a multi-day event. You know, we're getting there. But
Yeah.
with that being said, I guess I kind of pushed into what are some future plans you guys have cooking.
Before getting into that, do you know who St. John's Jason is?
Oh, of course. I can't not know who St. John's Jason is because there was a guy who was just a general public guy who
Oh,
happened to stumble on halfway to Halloween. This video is so hilarious.
Oh my god, this is my favorite video.
I'm gonna plug the video in here so you can
You
see
need
where
just
this.
that snippet.
Yeah, but this guy showed up to halfway to Halloween because he goes, "Oh, what's halfway to Halloween?"
He was
And-
from M Live.
Yeah, he's from M Live, and he shows up, and dude, the video is hilarious because the guys, the first thing that happens is he gets into the parking lot, and St. John's Mexican Jason is pulling up, and he's pulling his body out of the trunk, and he goes, "What the hell is
He
going
was,
on
I
here?"
don't know where I came.
He automatically knew, okay, this just ain't no vendor show. I thought so.
What is happening?
Yeah. So, but yeah, that when I saw that, I was on the floor. I was like, I love this guy. So
That's got to be one of my favorite videos. I think we need to like plug that and
I
like
don't know who that guy is, but
put it on the website. Like I need to get a hold of him and be like, "Hey, I'm going to use your video." And just like that's our commercial.
Yeah.
Like
give him
if
free
you want to
tickets
be
the
friends
show.
with this guy, come here.
right.
As he's pulling the body out of
Yeah,
his
right.
trunk, just all nonchalant.
Yeah, it was wild. It was wild. But yeah, so sky's the limit. There's so many things, and
Before we move on to future,
okay,
we are doing a raffle.
okay,
Oh yeah.
So we're doing a raffle. A lot of our vendors donate things. We donate things. Outside sources donate things, like people who have either vended with us in the past but can't come back for whatever reason. So they, give us something to vend. So we have a lot of things already this year. We're hoping that we get a lot more because our vendors are great and they, show up for us. All of the proceeds, we make no money off of the raffle. Literally zero.
Yeah.
We actually spend money to do it. All of the proceeds go to Washtenaw Farm Council, which we think is great because, we want to support the local community. We want to support the kids. We want to support learning. We
And
want
keep
to,
this show going.
yeah, absolutely.
and they're big supporters of us.
They are huge supporters of us. They have gone to bat with the city for us. They are great. So yeah, we do have a raffle. So make sure in the front part of building A is where the raffle will be located. Tickets are $2 or 6 for 10. We do have some bigger ticket items, really cool things.
You gotta come see.
We bought some things at Transworld for the raffle. Just throwing that out there.
And we do got 4 different certain skeletons. Everyone's been
The
shooting
ultra
Halloween.
posables, yeah.
Yep.
nice.
Got 4 of those bad boys.
Can never have enough of those.
Yeah.
Never.
And then probably I would say the last thing that we should maybe touch on is the vendors. And I want to say vendors because they always get kind of like brushed over. You know what I mean? Everybody's like, oh, it's vendor show.
Yeah.
There's 200 vendors. I mean, yeah, that's great, but
We handpick our.
They're
we
handpicked.
pick every vendor that is at our show. We have a painstaking application process that our vendors have to go through. They have to submit pictures, they have to submit business names, they have to submit websites. And
We go through every
Yes.
picture and every
we
description.
single-handedly, one of the four of us is actually all of the four of us are looking at their websites, any like social
Social media.
medias that they have.
We've seen them at other shows.
The photos, yep. We purposely go to other shows and we will look for people who have applied to our show before we approve them.
There's
and
a
it's-
double side of that.
Yes.
We like to support.
We do,
We
yeah.
do support other shows.
We
as
don't
well.
get a chance to shop at our show. We're
Yeah.
really busy. So we do go to other shows. We see things that our vendors have that we want. So we go to other shows to buy them.
Awesome.
And it also gives us a general idea of placement though too when we see your booth in person.
Yes. But I say that because we have so many. Honestly, every one of our vendors, I feel like is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the amount of work, effort, blood,
Craftsmanship.
sweat, and tears that goes into some of the things that they make is just amazing to me.
Yep.
We are not a show that like you're not going to find Tupperware or Color Street. No offense to you guys. It's no offense.
Yeah.
We don't allow MLMs. I just don't think that it's right to take somebody who orders products offline and put them next to somebody who is an artist.
Fabricate it. Yep.
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 And
Yep.
we do have some vendors that sell stuff from stores, like the Halloweeny purses and things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
But we honestly, even since our second show, we've been slowly phasing those kind of vendors out because we do really want to focus on local artistry.
Right.
Yeah.
right.
And, we have some vendors from out of state and stuff like that. And we're not saying like, oh, you'd never make it in our show if you're from out of state. That's not the, but we do want to like,
We actually have some from Ohio though.
yeah, we have some from Ohio, some from Indiana, some from, Deadly
Yeah.
Grounds is from out of town.
We have interest from other states as well.
Yeah. But
Georgia?
I would like to keep, at least half of the show local artists.
Yep.
But they really do put so much work and effort into it, and they painstakingly choose how to set up their booths, and so just make sure that you show them a little bit of love too. Even if you're not going to buy something, if you see something that you think looks good, tell them, because a lot of times artists are like everybody else. If people aren't saying anything to them, it wretches at their self-confidence.
Yep.
It
Absolutely.
makes
You
people
know.
think, did they even really like it?
Right.
Or do
Why
they
should
think-
I be here?
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't so much worried about that, but that was
I was.
but yes, no. So, I mean, I do really think that it's important. These are, people who pour their heart and soul into what they do. So
Yeah,
I do, I just always like to touch on that and say, that we do love our vendors.
Yep.
You can't.
Yep. And honestly, I will say this: it's like they really are the bones of the show from what
Yeah.
I've seen here. Because whether you're a collector, whether you're a hunter,
What if you like snacks and baked goods?
yeah, oh
It's
god,
everything.
Yeah.
The baked goods.
Well,
Oh,
see,
good
and
Lord.
I think that's the beauty of it is because it's the four of us. Like we all have different interests and different things
Yep.
that we love.
Yep.
Like Joel will argue like tooth and nail with me about some vendors.
yeah.
For instance, no offense, Tiny Terrors. The first year that Tiny Terrors applied, I know.
Love
So-
you guys.
The first year that they applied,
There's little Sam.
yeah, Little Sam. Yeah, and
Yeah.
Open Head. But the first year that they applied, like I said, the first thing that we see is pictures. So
Yeah.
like we're scrolling through the submissions and, we go through them number by number. So Joel's like, what about this one? And I pull it up and I'm like, Joel, it's dolls. We already have like 4 doll vendors. And I don't mean it like that. Like I have anything against dolls. But one of the things that we do when we choose our vendors
Try
is
to make it
we
unique.
try to make it to where we don't have more than a certain number of a specific type of vendor.
Gotcha.
Like we don't want 25 doll makers
yeah.
because then everybody's competing.
Yeah.
And
And then it becomes a doll show.
right, it becomes a doll show. But also that's so many vendors that you then start to have a hard time differentiating where like which one was which
Right.
one you really liked, which you know what I mean? Like
Yep.
it just like when you're trying to remember it all kind of blurs.
Yep. Yep.
So we like not to do that. We don't want to have people compete to sell things. So Tiny Terrors, and Joel's like, no, I think they'll do really good. And I'm like, Joel, it's another doll
I'm
person.
like, you can put their little dolls on, you know, your little nightstand. You can use them in your office.
Joel
It's
doesn't put his
something
foot
small.
down very often.
No, he does not put his foot down very often.
What do you
Usually
do
I'm the
this
loud,
time?
obnoxious one. And he was like, well, I really want them. And if I get one like pick, that's them. And
Joel,
I said, fine, Joel, I'm not
I
going
wouldn't have met Princess Sam if it wasn't for you. And we
Yeah.
have our little...
Yeah.
She's awesome. She's awesome.
So he was like, this, he's like, no, I really want to give him a try. And I was like, fine, I digress, Joel. It's fine. And they did amazing. And their dolls are super cute. And I told Joel, I was like, you know what? I was like, I got to eat crow on this one. You were right. These dolls are very different than these dolls.
Yeah,
Because in my brain, I'm not a doll person. You know,
Right.
like it's just not my thing.
Right,
So for me, I was like, a doll is a doll.
right, right.
No,
You know, and Joel was like, no.
Yeah.
No,
One
not-
has more
not
of a
a doll.
collectible feel. The other
Yes.
one has more of a...
Well, and in all honesty, she just puts she
So
puts
much
so
love.
much work into
Oh
it.
yeah, they're detailed.
They're so good.
They're detailed.
And plus, they're inexpensive. They're
Yeah.
small.
Yeah.
You can easily put them anywhere.
And you
Makes
want
gr-
it, and every
makes
year,
great
every
gifts.
year I'm going, okay, I gotta expand the collection. I gotta
Which one
get
am I
some
getting
more.
now?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, we got Leatherface
more.
over there.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, gotta collect them all.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There
We're
it
gonna-
is.
Casey's gonna have to make you a little shadow box.
I
A
know.
little tiny terror shadow box.
There it is.
Don't you
There
threaten
it
me
is.
with a good time.
Very cool.
Challenge
Wow.
accepted.
There you go. There you go. So there you hear it. This halfway to Halloween is going down, guys. It is
One last thing.
Yep.
The last thing that I want to mention, David already knows about this because, well, he's David. But
He
we
knows
do have a
everything.
media hour, so we're not opening to the public this year until 11. So we'll be open to the public 11 to 6.
okay.
The show is actually 10 to 6. 10 to 11 is a media hour. So if you have a YouTube channel, if you have a blog, a vlog, on anything, reach out to us via Messenger or via the website. We will put you on the media list. We'll get you a media badge. You can get in that hour early, check things out, do your, taping. And that also means that you'll get a chance to kind of like speed walk the show and get everybody in. And then you can go back and talk to people later if that's what you want to do. I'm not telling you how to do your things, but that way you can hurry up and get in the haunt before it gets overrun.
That's
Right
awesome.
when we open.
That is awesome. And I will say this: good content, guys. Very good content. We don't miss a show. Never will. It's and selfishly, it's close, but still, even if I lived in Ohio, I'd make the trip. You know what I mean? If I can drive 8 hours to St. Louis, I definitely would be doing this.
If you have an RV, there is camping on site
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. So
or a
yeah.
tent or
Yep.
you're brave.
So any YouTubers, if you are watching this, definitely make plans. It is May 10th.
May
May
10th.
10th.
Day before Mother's Day.
Yep. Day
Yep,
before
May
Mother's
10th.
Day.
So do some Mother's Day shopping as well.
There
Yep.
you go. There you go. Nothing says I love you like a skull that's been corpsed.
Correct.
Just saying. So
Or a coffin cookie.
Like that guy.
yeah, there it is. There it is.
Yeah, or
yeah.
coffin
Yeah,
cookies.
speaking of which, we got some of the floor here. Even
Yeah.
yeah.
Who made those, David?
That is Chris Krupe from this. I always mess up his name. He always makes fun of me. He goes, "You never get my name right." Decompositions,
Yep.
Corpse Creations. I said it right, Chris.
Yes.
I said it right. There you go.
There it is.
I can't help it that it's a tongue twister, Chris.
Right.
I'm dyslexic, Chris.
Pick an easier name, Chris.
So,
Just you are now DCC.
yeah, right. There it is. There it is. Any plugs you guys want to plug? Events or anything coming up, or you want to give us more information on where to follow you, socials? I'm going to turn it over.
So there's a couple things. You can follow us on TikTok. We have some TikToks. We have
If
Facebook.
TikTok's still around.
TikTok
yeah,
has
if-
been extended 75 days.
Oh,
Oh,
Or-
well, okay.
There.
Well, that's past our event. So follow us on TikTok,
There you go.
At Instagram.
Facebook, Instagram, our
Lemonade.
website. Yes, Lemonade.
Threads.
Threads,
Blue Sky.
Blue Sky.
All right.
Check out our website.
Check
out
that
our
website out.
Couple other things, some other things that we're involved with. We are involved with the Dark Art Show that happens the week after our show
Okay.
downtown in Detroit at the Russell Industrial Center.
Okay.
It's called Harrowing Hall. You can look that up as well on Facebook. It's a cool little indie show.
Right.
It's really chill. It's really intimate. You get a good chance, like if for whatever reason your fancy is to talk to one of us, we're all there,
Yep.
and it is in a much smaller setting, so you can chat with us or whatever. Not that anybody wants to talk to me.
Of course they do.
I mean,
course they do.
talk to him. He's the friendly one.
I think the art call. There's an art call right
Yes,
now.
art call's open now. So if you do any dark art, sculptures, paintings, anything, there's a call for art call for Harrowing Hall. And if that's something that you're interested in, reach out. We'll send you the
All right,
links.
and there you go.
Time's a ticking.
Let's see. Future. You asked us about the future.
Yeah,
What are
yeah.
our plans?
Yeah. What do you got? What do you got in store for 2026 and beyond?
Well, we have lots of ideas. I literally have a whole notebook full of ideas.
We have been tossing around an extra day, but future possibly.
Let me say there are certain things that have to be met, certain goals that have to be met in order for us to add a second day. One of those goals is an attendance goal. I'm not going to say how much it is because I don't want everybody to be stuck on the number. I'm having a hard enough time not getting stuck on a number.
Right.
Because everybody says, the show was so busy. The show was so busy. When in my head, all I was doing was looking at the number. So
Right.
I have to
we don't want to do that.
I have to not do that, so I'm not going to say a number. But once we get past a certain attendance goal, that's when we will explore the option of moving to 2 days. And the reason that we haven't done that yet is because we don't want to split the attendance, or we don't want to be a show. We've gone to so many like conventions, expos, shows, vendor shows. You walk in Saturday and like it's banging. There's people everywhere. There's, things to look at, things to do. The vendors are interacting. You walk in Sunday and it's like a snooze show.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
that is.
we don't want that.
Yeah,
That's
and I
what
think
we're
that's
about.
pretty common.
Yep.
I think your Friday Saturday is a hot zone. I'm gonna kind of throw a little hint in there. You could always have that Thursday haunt tour. Just saying.
We're working on things. We're working on things. We have lots of things in the mix. We have lots
Yep.
of ideas to do.
Don't spoil too much though, Dave.
I know,
Yes.
right? I know. That's my selfish. That's my selfish.
His
like,
want.
Yeah.
Yes, he really wants us to
I
do
want
a
to be
hot
on the
tour.
party bus going on the hot tour.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, hey, there you have it. This is a mouthful, and I can't say it enough. This is a show not to be missed. And it's kind of funny. Like I've said it now before. The Halloween off season is a real thing now.
Yeah.
And it's funny because it starts in February. You're like, it starts in February, and people like my coworkers like, what do you mean you're doing a Halloween event in February? And I'm like, dude, if you only knew.
Yep.
If you only knew. Like, bro, this is
It's up and coming.
it's getting to the point where I now start stressing out when I see people putting those. I don't like Halloween calendars anymore.
No.
I used to like them.
Yes, they
They're like
stress
2
me
12
out.
days. I'm like, stop,
I know.
stop. I'm not
Well,
ready
you
for
should see it
this.
when they
I'm
first
not
start,
ready.
because then we have half that time.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Like less than half that time.
Oh, yeah.
So like I watched them
Is
start
that
going down when
halfway
they're
to?
like
Is that
23
halfway to
weeks
halfway time?
Yeah,
Yeah, you
they're
guys
like,
are stressed out at
they're
trans
like
world
23
going, oh
weeks to
gosh.
Halloween, and I'm like shit,
Yeah, we don't got
shit.
23 weeks.
I haven't slept in weeks, guys. It's only gonna get worse,
Yep.
but it's
My
all
God,
good.
Also,
Sorry.
FYI, excuse my appearance today. I am in sweatpants and my oversized sweat. I had surgery recently, so I refuse to wear real clothes yet.
You got an undead thing behind you. Nobody cares. We're good. We're good.
Right.
There's no judgment
I don't
in this
know,
room.
man. She's looking better than I am.
She is kind of spry. She got spry. She got step in her step these days.
Yeah.
Nails are done and the whole 9 yards.
Right.
So there it is. There it
Yeah,
is.
she's fully dressed. She even got a veil on. I ain't got shit on that. I
I got
showered
next. I got
today.
next one.
I showered.
Oh, you
I mean,
got her beat there. You got her beat there. She's more. I mean, as you can see, the dress.
She's
looks
going
little-
for her signature smell.
Oh, yeah, exactly. She was like, well, I've been out in the dirt a little bit, and walking through ponds, and
Right.
so it's all good. It's all good. But very cool. So definitely get ready as this show is coming up real fast. I have a feeling April's going to fly by before
Yes.
you know it.
Yeah.
I know these guys don't want to hear that. That's the last thing they want to hear, but it's true.
No, we're super excited.
Yeah,
And we
I'm
are.
ready.
We are actually. I knock on plastic. I think we are more prepared this year than we have been.
Which is terrifying.
Hope so.
Yeah.
Yep. I ain't gonna lie. Last year, I saw a little bit, and you can tell me if I'm wrong or incorrect. I saw a little bit of holy crap in
Yep.
your eyes last year.
You saw
Most
a
definitely.
lot of.
I don't think it was a little bit. I don't think it was a little
was
bit, David.
What is happening right now?
right.
What the crap?
Yes.
I think you've seen a what the crap moments a lot.
Yeah.
It was
And
awesome.
unfortunately for you, like you came up to tape a little early and stuff to tape some of the haunt setup and stuff.
Yeah.
So poor David, all he heard all night, like all day, was me. Joel! Joel! Joel!
Damn it,
Joel.
Joel.
Well, yeah,
Joel.
it was awesome because, you know, like, just to give you guys a scope of how this venue, I always try to describe the venue because, you know, not that there's anything wrong with it, but after a while, you get your fill of hotel lobbies and convention centers.
They all pretty much
It's
look the same.
Same thing, you know, commercial carpet out in the front. You're waiting in the hallway. This is not that.
All of our buildings don't even have carpet. Some
They're-
have dirt floors.
They look like
Yeah.
airplane hangars, all connected by breezeways, dirt floors, very rustic. It is like
It's
it's
a farm.
yeah,
castle.
yeah.
We want,
it
but
is-
that's what we wanted. We didn't want to do the typical hotel.
Yep. That's what
And
makes it
part
great.
of the reason that we wanted that is because we can do things like have like fire breathers,
Yeah.
or they'll give me permission to build a swamp.
There you go. It's coming. That swamp is a coming. Don't
That
give up
swamp's
on your
gonna
dream.
happen.
Don't
I
give
won't. It's either
in-ground pool, not a kiddie pool. In-ground pool.
It's either I get a swamp or I want a roller coaster.
right.
Well, if any of the haunts would like to adopt
Oh,
you,
hey, not a roller coaster.
But now
Hold
you're
on.
farming me out
A dark
like I'm
ride.
clear.
Yes,
I just
yes,
want you to
yes,
go
you
A
read
dark
my
ride. A
mind.
dark ride.
That's it. That dark ride needs. Yes.
See?
Yes.
No swamp, no water involved. Now I want a dark ride.
Casey, all you gotta do. There's a guy named Chamber of Souls,
Okay.
and he made a dark ride at his house. If he could do it, I know you can do it. I know you can do it.
I want a dark ride.
Shit.
There it is. There it is.
So a possible 2026.
Oh
start
boy,
ride,
could you
maybe?
imagine
Don't,
that?
don't
Did you
push
just
it,
say-
man. That's
did-
awfully close.
Did you just say 2056?
Yeah, 2056. Like, I need a 20-year plan. Cool beans.
Yep.
We got
Thanks
it.
for hanging with us, everybody.
Oh yeah.